There we go. There we go. Now it's working. Good to know that that was gonna not work the way I wanted it to if I hadn't checked. Let's open up Spotify, find something I can listen to on stream. Let's just do the good old classic stream beats. There we go. There we go. Okay. So the studies that we're going to be doing today, I bought this course. So I can't like show, I'm not going to show the course on stream, right? Because I bought the course and the course is something that I'm studying from, which is a course by Mitchell Liu. I'll show his Gumroad here. And the course that I bought was, let's see, I'm gonna buy more of his courses if I like this one, but the course that I bought was, where is it? How to draw, not characters, not clothing, not I do want to buy the how to draw environments. I like how he does his environments. Not poses, not perspective. The anatomy bundle right here, 25 bones. This is what I bought. And it looks like really good stuff. So I bought this bundle and I'm going to be studying from this bundle. And if I like it, you know, I recommend you guys probably end up getting it too. It does seem like it's a pretty good little bundle. All right, let's parse this stuff out so I can look at everything while I'm working. There we go. That'll let me see everything. Cool. All right. So we're just going to start doing some anatomy studies of the upper body. That's the main focus for today. It's just to kind of mark out how I do that stuff. All right. So pretty basic stuff. Let's start with just like drawing some torso shapes. There we go. And we'll go to something that's easier to see, like a bright blue. Yeah, there we go. That's obnoxiously easy to look at. So we're going to start by just kind of marking out some lines of action and putting torsos on it. So essentially the line of action right here is going to act like our spine. We got this going on here. This is going to be where like our front plane of our hip is. This is our chest. And it looks like we're looking at, whoops, we're looking at what we're studying here. There's a circle on top, right? And that's kind of like, that's the top of our neck cylinder here. Let's try to nail down where this would be in perspective. Straight line down. It looks like we go, honestly, about the length of what the pelvis is going to be. Maybe a little bit longer. So if this is the length of our torso, our pelvis, which should be facing the same direction, but at a different angle. So it's going to be going this way. And it's going to be a little bit shorter, it looks like, than our actual torso here. And the torso is basically an egg shape, so. I'm going to start by drawing a rough egg. And then I'm going to just kind of figure out where on this egg, this is the top of the front. We're going to cut out the bottom here. Let's make the eraser a bit bigger. There we go. And it looks like our torsos kind of do this thing, right? Where this is kind of our top. Here's our bottom. And the top has, the front looks like it's going to be shorter than the back. And that's basically our torso. And we should also make sure the top is more tapered as well. So the top is going to be like that compared to the bottom. Still basically an egg shape if you draw through it. Like if you just like fill out this whole shape. Still an egg, but you got to cut off the top here because this is where like the neck would go. And then right here is where the hips would be in that bottom part. If we're really simplifying things. And of course the spine is like an S shape that bends somewhere in the middle here where the spine and the torso are to be connected. Or the spine and, or the torso and the hips are to be connected. And one thing to note is that this actually goes farther back. Traces the back of that line, and then it kind of comes in the back and the middle. Somewhere around here of the torso. So pretty basic stuff there, but it is good to keep a note. We're just going to draw a bunch of these. Kind of at different angles looking at our reference here. All right. And then in between this gap here, where we've put the pelvis and everything, is where all of our other bits would go, right? So we're going to draw this out. Make kind of almost another egg shape, right? But this one's going to have to follow the contour that we've made here. So if we make a long egg shape here, following our contour, and then fill in our gap here, with this being a lot more kind of compressed because that's what the twist is. Boom, bam, thank you, ma'am. We now have ourselves abs and a tummy. Therefore, we've made it. And the belly button kind of sits down here. There we go. Now I can quickly jump between our colors. Oh. So that's a real simple one, just kind of a straight on with a little bit of a curve. But if we were to do something more complicated like a twist, so say we are doing, I'm going to draw these things separate here. I'm going to use a box for this one because a box is a lot easier to understand where our curves are. Made that torso a bit too skinny there. Let's bring it out a little bit. Hey, Donut, what's up, bud? There's going to be our torso. And then we want the hips to be going in a different direction. So if the torso's going that way, that's the front of our torso, right? And if we were to draw through this. We actually see that I kind of messed up this line here. Thankfully, drawing through helps us kind of identify this kind of stuff. I'm going to make it bolder the direction it's facing. The stuff on the outside is our bold bit here. Nothing. How's torsos? Torsos are annoying, but I need to learn how to twist them and move them around. So we're doing that. So we got that. Now we want our hip to be facing in this direction. So we want our box to be going a different direction, maybe facing almost straight towards us. There we go. We want to be facing straight towards us. We're not going to put that much depth on it. If I can draw a straight line once in my life. And I'm really just trying to eyeball this stuff because I don't want to be super duper picky about it. I'm just trying to kind of rough out where all my ideas are here. And again, I am going to draw kind of through all this stuff just to keep track. Because I need to get we just need to focus on getting better on identifying our forms. So we're going to keep identifying our forms as best as possible. So now we got a twist, right? Let's real quickly outline this guy. So we know where our front is. And we're going to change to a red here. We're going to mark out where all of our lines are. So the lines in the front still have to meet up with the lines in the front, right? So to sell this twist, this line right here still has to meet up with this line. So we could just draw a straight line since this is so straight. There we go. That goes there. And then this line goes here. But this line where our twist is happening, this line right here connects to this back line. Connects to that back point there. So we're going to do that and then that. And then this one right here, we wouldn't see as much. But it's still going to connect there. But obviously, straight lines and such is not exactly how the body works. So there is going to be some curvature there. So let's think about how the curve works. How do they do it? Let's see. Mitchell does it with a tapered line. Makes sense. So we're actually going to take this line. We're going to taper it. And where there's less bend, there's going to be more taper. So to make this a little bit easier to read, let's lower the opacity here. And we're going to kind of do a little bit of shading here, so that this is our back face here. It's our back. And if we go over here, this is our front. We can't see it there, but we can see it here and here. And just mark that down real quick. Yeah, I'm a little sniffly today, unfortunately. It's one of those unfortunate side effects of being a human being. Sometimes you get the sniffles. So now let's do the same thing, but this time we'll use kind of more this shape here. Maybe we'll do a more... And this is actually going to be the underside. So this cylinder is going to be facing up. And this one will be facing downward at a much more extreme angle. I made those hips way too big. But this time the hip are going to be facing this way. This will be the center of our hips. So if we just erase this a little bit so we can see what we're doing a bit better. Because this is where the back goes, it comes around, it makes the center there. So knowing that, taking this shape here, we still need to twist it. So if it connects right up here at the top and then right down here at the bottom, it's going to create that kind of squished bean shape. But there's still going to be some stretch to it. And then again, I'm going to take this. It's going to be kind of squished outward, and this is going to be brought up straight almost. With a little bit less curvature. Front's twisting behind there. And this is going to go from this direction to being more so on the front here. There's going to be a point where it tapers completely and goes back to being in the backside. It works out okay. I'm actually going to bring up a human reference. Let's bring up twisting model pose. Let's see if we can't identify this stuff on a person. Gonna put him at the bottom, lower his opacity a little bit. We're gonna just draw over top this guy. So right there, his torso is going this way. Make sure that we draw that. And the rib cage, because he's turned so much, we're going to see part of the rib cage wrap around here. So just whoop. And then this right here, this shape, all this stuff, that's all muscle. I don't know the name of it, but it's all muscle. It's not actually part of the rib cage. Hey, Mark. So we're just going to draw through that. Actually create our rib cage here. This little shape here would actually still continue around and then back up. But this is going to be like the inside, right? This is the inside of our rib cage. And this right here, finish that egg shape off, would come up here. Again, we're trying to draw through things. And the idea is that these pecs right here, we're going to change colors for just a second. These pecs right here sit on top and would be wrapping around. Not actually on the rib cage, not actually the rib cage itself. So we got to draw through that. And then we go and identify our hip. Hip's going that way. And it's not 100% facing to the side, right? It's actually more so the middle is right here, because you can see where the stomach goes. Shaboop. So that's going to be our center line there. The hips go up like that. And let's see, the pelvis is shaped like so. Let me get a good side view of that pelv, Mitch. Where's it at? Also, I think I said his name was Mitchell Lou. His name is Mitch. It's Mitch Lou. Or Leu. Leu woo woo woo. I'm sorry I'm pronouncing your name so wrong, Mitch. I apologize. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. So the pelvis is going to act a bit like that. Yep. And it comes down. The leg connects around like this somewhere in this area. Yeah. So the leg goes right there and then back. And of course, this right here, that's butt. That's butt. That's not hip. I love when people say like, ooh, yeah, I love thick hips. And they see somebody who's like walking around like this with a butt like that. And it's like, that's not hip, my guy. That's all butt. You want hips like this. Them's hips. It's like you have to understand. Look, I respect your preferences. Absolutely I do. Just, you know what it is you like. Do a little bit of draw through real quick. So this is the back side. And then because this person is shirtless and very strong, we can actually see a lot of what we're looking for here. So like this shape that we were drawing earlier, right there, the top of the abs, and then the bottom of the abs. And we see a little bit of twist that they do, a little bit of twist. And how they kind of squish in right here. Because this part, that's that like swap, right? That's that strong directional movement from the twist itself. That's where all the force is. And then this side right here, because there is force whenever you're doing a twist. The force here would be really light up here, and then strong there, and then light force again. This is where gesture studies would be helping you out quite a bit, and I've done a few. I should probably just do a gesture study stream at one point. But we can see if this was like to draw a line to help sell more of the curve, we would also be drawing like this line right here for those. I believe these are the obliques, right? So they would be turning like that and kind of connecting right there above the leg. Let me see how this whole twist happens. And of course, we were to draw the spine. His neck is here, sitting on top of this guy. And the spine itself is going from this to this direction. And then twisting and landing right around here. It actually lands more so down here. The spine goes all the way down. There we go. Whoops. It's almost to the very back because that's where his tailbone would be. Cool. Let's see if we can't maybe take the same guy's proportions and just futz with them, huh? So we're gonna imagine this guy maybe bending over. So like his spine's all like this. Spine's all like that, and his head's probably like right there. Let's see if we can't imagine. No reference, just imagine where everything's supposed to be going here, right? I think I drew the spine too far out because it looks like at that point he'd be sticking his butt out. Which, I mean, this guy's going to be doing that. But he's going to be doing... We're looking at it more from a front-on view. So spine actually needs to be pointing more. So, like... And that looks very weird, but it's going to make sense when we start blocking things out. So if we're going to use rectangles here to block everything out. Actually, that was actually be just fine. Yep. Happy Morb month? Dude, we've officially morbed too hard, I think some people did. Because Morbius started coming back to theaters. and that's unfortunate. What's the goal? The goal is just to learn more about how to draw the torso and the hips, basically, to kind of figure out, because I'm really bad at a lot of anatomy stuff, so I'm just trying to like nail down some more anatomy to help kind of build out characters more. Because usually when I draw a character, I draw them for to imagine this is our little portrait, our paper. I draw like the head, the face, and then like the top of the neck, because that's what I've studied the most. I've studied this area the most, the face and everything, but I need to get better at drawing like the actual body. And I figure segmenting it down to like, let's learn how to do just like the center mass here would be a good idea. Just got off work. How long do you plan on streaming for? Probably till 10, maybe 10:30. Movie night starts at 11 for me and the crew, so I'll be streaming until then. Or at least close to then. And now the hips are going to be facing towards us, so the box would be going this way. I actually get a little bit bigger because of the perspective. Let's just draw through this box real quick as well. Yeah, this is just me trying to improve, generally speaking. And I figure, why not do that on stream? We can see we messed up somewhere there because this line wouldn't have connected with that line. There we go. Looks a little bit better at least. So now we got that, let's draw our actual rib cage and everything in here. So this is going to be that angled top of the ribs. Spine going right there. And then right here, split the box in half. There we go. Kind of draw in that form there. So we can see how everything's wrapping around. Kind of like, you know, a lazy man's rib cage. I have a lazy man's rib cage. Oh, it doesn't put in that much work, unfortunately, it turns out. Think there might be a broken back at that angle? I mean, yeah, probably. I don't know. Let's see here. Oh God. Oh Jesus. Yeah, but good. Actually, the good part of that is I felt all that gut mass in the middle bunching up. So I mean, you know, I mean, you can imagine this guy's doing something kind of like, you know, something like that, or he's, or he's, you know, something like that. Does the rib cage squash and stretch any? You know, I don't think it does. Let's see, but let's look that up. Does the rib cage bend? Can your rib cage bend? No, ribs don't quite bend, but they do flex. Their cartilage roots and end points flex intercostal muscles, abduct and release to expand the rib cage. So it does actually move a little bit. Okay. But not like a ton. Let's see. Do we have any images that can help us show this? Oh, hate that. Hate that. Okay. Okay, so that actually helps a little bit. At least it helps talk about what we're talking about here. Where the rib cage, it bends right here along the spine, but the ribs themselves don't seem to actually do any bending. Like if I try and push on too many parts, I don't feel them bending in a good way. Like they don't have any give, you know, if I'm pushing on my own ribs. They don't really have any give. Ow. Now I've just gone and pushed on my entire body really hard. Thanks, Mark. You've officially inflicted pain to me all the way from New York. I think the majority of the curve is going to come from the hips. Yeah, there's going to be curve in the back of the hips, and then there's going to be some bunching in the front, right? So... And then setting animation, not necessarily animation here. Although, if you check the Discord, !Discord, let me do that. I do have a like a semi-schedule that I made out. And part of that semi-schedule is at some point I want to start doing streams where I'm practicing like the 51 animation practices. Like the 51 animation exercises that I've seen going around. If I scroll up a little bit, it was after Bad Guys. Yeah, here we go. So the Discord, right? I gotta finish Hollow Knight. I did the Mario Odyssey. I've got to do Psychonauts 2 at some point. We might finish Hollow Knight tomorrow, or we might do Psychonauts tomorrow. I don't know. I really don't want to go back to Deep Nest anytime soon. But here we go. The 51 animation exercises. Multiple streams because there's no way you're doing 51 in one day. 51 animation exercises speed run. Let's go. 80%. Maybe not necessarily readable. Maybe not necessarily the best animation in the world. But, you know, it could be there. Get that kind of triangular shape of the hips in there. Build it out a little bit more. There we go. That looks more like a pelvis. We erase all these extra lines real quick. Right there where the... Just right there where the junk goes. But luckily you don't see the junk whenever you're talking about a skeleton. Isn't that crazy? Skeletons don't have junk. Imagine though. What if skeleton had junk? Maybe don't imagine that. Cursed thoughts. Cursed thoughts today. And actually legs do kind of go out like this. So it'd be like that, and then the legs would go out that way. Because that's a socket right there. And the leg kind of fits in there. Then you got that little part of the leg bone that like sticks all the way out there. And it's just a real... Humans are real funky things. You know that? We got real funky shapes in us. That's why anatomy is so hard. It's also why we simplify anatomy so much. So, again, if we're trying to get that, like, shape in, that, like, oblique shape, it'd be right here. And right here. But because it's so squished here, it would, like, squish in like that, like a little bean. Oh, look at that. We're back at the beans. Everything comes back to beans. And I know this is how this feels because I literally just did it. Still gotta connect all that flesh though. So connecting all that flesh there, and then around the front here is where it would start bunching up again. Oh boy. Come here. Come here, my little man I drew. We're going over here. Going for a ride. Let's erase your hands. You're having too much fun. This is a serious art study. We're serious learning here. No fun allowed. Get them hands out of here. Not about to catch no hands out here. Oh. Let's see if we can find like another really, really big twist that I can look at. Preferably something with clothes on. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh my man! Oh my man, how? Oh my man, how? Oh my man, how? Oh Lord, he turning. Whoo, how do you do that with your body, my brother? Look at this dude. Boy, howdy. He's over here looking like Monkey D. Luffy. Just full on. All right, yeah, let's draw over this. Try to figure out this nonsense. What is that? According to Google, according to my Google search, it's a twisting a model pose. Which, yeah, I would say that is a... Oh, Lord! He turned it, my God! Yeah, okay. Let's see if we can't figure out how this man's is working. Alright, so let's break down what we know. The cheer squad needed S and he went hard. Give me an S. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Oh my God. Give me an S. My man said give me an S. He gave a fucking S, dude. All right. Well, there's the top of his, that's like the top here. Then here's his hips. Or his hips are right here. So here's the thing, right? His pelvis, if we were to imagine where his pelvis is right now, not imagine, we could see it. His pelvis is like right here. Like this is this boy's pelv. It is full on straight facing us. Like there's no angle here, right? We're not curving that pelvis. It is coming straight for us. We cannot avoid this man's pelv. It is staring us straight in the face. So there's some twist here. But I do think that his body is going a bit out this way, right? So if we were to figure out where the bottom of his waist or the bottom of his rib cage is, I imagine it's like right there, right? Because like if you look, you can see where his shirt's kind of telling us where it's going, right? The shirt's coming here, and the twist is starting right around here. Like that's where like the biggest part of the twist is right there. So that's got to be the small of his back, or the part at the bottom of his rib cage on his back. So we'll draw through this as best we can. So use that. It's probably a little bit thicker than that, actually. Yeah, probably like there. I'm drawing on the man's. I drew the whole thing on the man's. Oh, well. Whatever. Can't believe I drew all over this man. He's twisting so hard for us, and we drew all over him. Okay. So, the shirt is very helpful here. The shirt is helping us with everything we need to know. Actually. So, like, maybe we're seeing, because the hips do angle up a little bit. You know, maybe we are seeing just the ever so slightest top of his hips, just to help us give a little bit more form and understand what we're looking at here. Wrong layer bruh moment for sure. But like, this has got to be as far back of his pelvis as we can see, right? So, to help us out here, let's label some points. The points that are going to be connecting. So if we're going to label these points real quick, we'll actually put that on a different layer. This point right here, right? This point right here would be connected to the front left point on our pelvis right here. So front left, front left. Or his front right as far as we're seeing it, but front left for the sake of this. This is going to be our back left. And this right here is our back left. Front right. Which means that these, make this a different color real quick. Would be our back right. So we'll turn the opacity down on that so they're not totally in our way. And we'll change colors again for the sake of readability. But if we're going to connect all these lines, our back left to our back left, right? It's going to have this huge twist to it. Like, that's where those connect. And if we're going from our back right to our front right, like, we can't even see this, but it is going like that. And then our front left to our front left. Oh, I got the opacity turned down on this layer. There we go. And we're using the shirt and what we can see of the outline of his torso to help guide us here. Just join that dude. Okay. Yeah, this dude be fine. So like, yeah, we see whenever we actually have our twist here, then we got to connect everything, right? So connecting all of our actual joints of fat here, like all that skin, that'd be here. Just because of how much twist this dude's got. So if we take this away, oh yeah, because I drew on him. Ugh. Let me trace over it real quick. Do a darker blue. If this makes any kind of sense, whenever we've taken away the man, we've actually gone somewhere in our lives today. We've actually made some amount of success. Now let's draw over all of this with another color. Go back to our red here. Can I draw a straight line, please? There we go. Yeah, that actually kind of works. Because we put like our own lines here, right? We can do that. And yeah, we can kind of see how that would actually be a torso. And it makes plenty of sense with all the twists and everything. Yeah, that actually works out. Cool. I was a little worried that wasn't going to read, but it does kind of read. But yeah, that's a very extreme pose. Oh, God. Just real quick, I want to try and like do a little gesture at this guy, because this does seem like a fun gesture. So let's close that. File, new. Why though? Because it seems like fun. It's like a fun gesture. Dude's got crazy shape. I think that reference might be a little complex, Cody, not gonna lie. That's why I'm doing it. To challenge myself. Well, how am I ever gonna improve if I don't sit here and be like, man, I should try something really hard today? So let's get that spine first. Let's go with a looser brush here. That's too loose. There we go, I like that one. And we'll go back to a lighter color. Something that I can build on top of. And there we go. So, first of all, this man's spine is twisting. It is almost doing like a that shape. Then, let's see. Let's get the back. Back in the arm. I don't want to lose any of the energy here. And then if we're taking this and we're going to draw, let's put this layer on top of it. Here we go. So he's doing that number and the arm is going to be going like that. The neck is going into the head. Mark where those ears are. Then Bring the feet down here. Made his legs too long there. And you see where I kind of messed up our proportions here, right? I'm not bringing the legs dipping down enough, so I gotta dip them down lower. I gotta fix that arm too. Because now the arm isn't going quite where it needs to. So we fix the arm. There we go. That'll put the arm in the right spot. I personally prefer doing gestures on paper, but doing this is giving me the opportunity to kind of like, oh, whoops, see things a bit better. And then his hand. It's going up across the leg. So, all right, here's that pelvis. Let's not focus too much on that foot, huh, Cody? Oh, we just draw a foot. There we go. Yeah, I did make him too wide here, didn't I? Because he should be more so like this. Yeah, I made him way too wide there. Actually, I only made one side of him too wide. The other side's actually pretty solid. But I made that left side of him way too wide. So if I just paint that back in real quick. Adjust that. And then this fixes the problem with the arm, because now I can bring the arm in the right place. Because the arm's hitting right here. Everything about the shape of the arm. It curves a little bit like that. And this bone goes like this. I'm going to draw over top of that. Yeah, that's a fun gesture, actually. Yeah, boy, Hattie, that was a really fun one to draw. Why would you ever draw someone in that pose? Um, I can think of one very easy one. Monkey D. Luffy, from One Piece. I've been watching One Piece lately, so yeah. But there's actually a move he has where it's called like pinwheel or something, and straight up it's the same thing where like he goes vertical, he grabs you, and he twists up his body real tight. And I can imagine somebody seeing somebody doing a pose like this and thinking, what if we just made this man's, instead of doing that much twist, we made this man's do this. And boom, Monkey D. Luffy has a new move where he pinwheels people, you know, where he twists up and twist up and twist up. And all that tension builds up and then it just explodes out. It's pretty sick, actually. Yeah, holy crap. That was a fun little gesture. Let me get his feet in here. Wait. What are you saying? YouTube's not receiving enough video to make a smooth stream. Oh no, am I throttling? Doesn't say it is. Maybe YouTube's just hiccuping a little bit. Like this is a very fun gesture. Yeah, wow, that was a lot of fun actually. Let's see if we can clean this up and still keep that energy going, though. Because now I've officially gone into the gesture drawing mode. My brain has swapped modes. So we're going to swap modes for just a second. All of us together as friends. His proportions are a little bit wonky, but I think it still looks pretty okay. I don't have to worry about too much of that. Yeah, we should have brought the back a little bit further, but hey. Gestures aren't meant for perfect anatomy. There's help there to help you learn. Yo! Yeah, that's fun, actually. That was super fun. One day we're just gonna do a gesture drawing stream. I'll set up my camera to be facing a piece of paper and we'll just draw on paper for a while, because that seems like fun. Alright, anyways, what were we doing? Something like this? Yeah, something about that. Let's take all these layers. Put them in a folder. Hide them. You're going away for now. Go in the folder. Thank you. There we go. Fresh canvas. We started new. Oh! I can see a demon doing this. I didn't get high. Probably because inhuman contorting is exactly what demons do. Started what was to be a gesture, but I got kind of carried away with it. That's art, baby. The best art in the world is something that starts as one thing and then turns into something completely different. All right. And just to recap, because I did mention it once already, but this course is obviously very interesting and like working out. I like the way it's laid out. So I'm just going to show it off again. The course I'm using is by this guy right here, Mitchell Liu. Am I zoomed in? No, I wasn't. It's by Mitchell Liu, and it's the one way down here towards the bottom. I didn't want to spend all my money on I didn't want to spend my money on every single one of his courses, but I'm doing this one right here. How to draw anatomy, hands, arms, and torso. Because I felt from what I saw, he was really kind of showing some nice stuff. But again, I'm not going to actually show any of his stuff on stream because, go away, honey. Because I paid for this and he's obviously selling it as a product. Wait, this isn't it. That's too cheap for the one I'm using. He's obviously selling this as a product and I'm not going to sit here and like give away what he's got. You know, this one, the Anatomy Complete Bundle is the one I'm doing. Which does cover that course that I had there. So I do recommend you checking it out. Here's a link in here, and I'll put a link in the Discord as well for anybody who wants to check the courses out. I'll put it in the announcement channel. There we go. And I'll also put them in the description if you're watching on the VOD. It'll be in the description of the video. So, there we go. That's me doing my due diligence trying to shout this guy out. And I guess if you're not part of the Discord, join the Discord. And check out my socials where I forgot to shout out that I was streaming. Let me just do that on Twitter real quick. Whoops. There we go. Now all of Twitter can see my shame. I'll delete that post at the end of the stream, but here we are. Oh yeah, hold on. I found this video and I wanted to show it to you guys. Hold on. I found this literally as I was like, getting ready to stream. I logged into YouTube and this is the first thing I saw. This shit's so funny. Let me make sure you guys can actually hear it. You should be able to hear it just fine.
What the? Oh shit!
That's from when Idris Elba was on Hot Ones. It's very funny. I just thought I would share that with you guys. Oh god, I found it very funny. Oh boy, howdy. Very, very funny. All right. Let's see. All right, let's go with this really, really simplified chest thing he's got going on here. Why is this so dragged behind? Oh, because the stabilization's super high. Why? I never draw that stable. Yeah, there we go. That's way easier to work with. You should study torsos by Rob Liefeld. Yeah. Let's do a quick Rob Liefeld breakdown. Rob Liefeld, Captain America. Yeah, let's just grab the classic. We all know it. If you don't know it, where's a good picture of it? It's pretty funny. There we go. If you don't know it, here it is. The Rob Liefeld, the classic. And yeah, let's do a quick study of this. So if we're going to break down the anatomy of the torso here, obviously he's let's just do a draw over, huh? Let's do a draw over, right? That'll make things easier to understand. So the spine is going here. Obviously, that's where the spine goes. And we can kind of imagine that, you know, it connects. The legs are there. Okay, yeah, so it does connect to the hips back here somewhere. Let's see. That's the top of the pelvis. So it connects here, so it would start bending there. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of about the shape we're looking at there, right? Maybe not as much booty as he maybe actually has, or maybe he has. Maybe this. I'm not gonna say this is America's ass. I think America's ass probably doesn't fit here. doesn't apply here. So we can see his spine is completely straight. But what Rob Liefeld does, he takes a creative liberty here, right? It's like right here's one top, and then it's very obvious that it's angled slightly. So kind of like that. That's kind of the plane his neck's sitting on. But this has gotta be straight, because if there is he is connected to the spine. The spine keeps everything pretty straight. So yeah, you know, luckily we can see very clearly where his rib cage is. It goes up right around there, you know. There's his rib cage. And then it also goes around. Maybe this line is his rib cage. Yeah, this line's his rib cage. Yeah, it's a straight line at that angle. If we're gonna draw the rib cage shape, it obviously it goes around this way. Yeah, it goes around this way. You know, this part of the rib cage would come down here and eventually peak back up. And you would think, because the back is straight, right? It's a perfect profile view. So it should be a profile view, right? Well, that's not the case, because it's obvious that his chest goes out this way. This is the Rob Liefeld special, I think, where, as the Rob Liefeld special is, he actually angles the rib cage out. And the rib cage would actually be like just kind of underneath all this muscle, you know, and actually back here in the back as well. It'd probably be more so like right here, you know. This is kind of more so where the rib cage is. and the spine. So, you know. So yeah. That's how that tracks. So yeah, that's just Rob Liefeld's style, you know. His style is to take anatomy and say no, which is fine. That's fine. You can do that. That chest is going straight? No, it ain't. So you're telling me that Captain America's star here, right? The star on his chest, which if his chest was going straight, the star would be split in the middle, right? So the star would be more like that if it was straight, right? But it's not straight. Which implies that his chest is facing out at an angle. But his back is not. His back is straight. And so is his pelvis. Yeah, can we talk about how this man's like literally that wide? Like he's that wide. Oh, apparently Rob Liefeld has improved over the years. I'm sure he has. I'm sure he probably caught a lot of flack for this before we ever hit him with it. Before we started hitting him with it years ago. I'm sure he caught plenty of flack already. But that's just, it is truly very funny. Oh, God. Okay, Gabe, sorry. It's hard to tell if somebody's being sarcastic or not on YouTube chat. Oh, boy, howdy, that's so funny. Well, anyways, I've been drawing, you know, like trying to do like something anatomically correct. But let's be real with ourselves and myself. I'm not gonna be doing anatomically correct work. I'm gonna be doing like more cartoony, more kind of like, you know, silly, funny push forms and such. So let's do a little bit of that, shall we? It's 8:30. Let's do a little bit of silly. Let's see. Let's see. We've been sticking with the male here, so we're going to stick with the male here a little bit longer. I kind of feel bad for him since his name will always be permanently attached to this. Yeah, that's the thing, you know, legacy and all that. Silly, funny push form. For real. It's hard to draw a circle, eh? Am I listening to a Christmas album right now? What's happening? I am. I'm listening to a royalty-free Christmas album. We're changing that. I'm changing off the royalty-free Christmas album. Oh boy. Wrong time of year to start already bringing Christmas music back. Very legally distinct holiday. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. All right. So, Mary Morb month. We gotta stop with the Morb. We already brought it back. We don't need to bring it back anymore. I need to take this. I need to transform that a little bit. Bring it down. Don't think about what this currently looks like. I'm going somewhere with it. So obviously this is not much of a torso. But we can really quickly make it a torso. We take these little shapes here, right? Like kind of like where that is. Where the rib cage would be meeting when it does that. It looks like about in that area. And then we can decide pretty easily if we want to imply more of a male form or a female form. So if we're going to do a male form, we want it to go out. And that creates just like our big beefy boy shape, right? But if we take this same thing, oh, okay. Take the same thing here, the same basic shape of the rib cage, everything. And we do a little copy, Control Shift V, Control T, Control T. Can't curve the merb. Stop. Please stop. We can do this whole number. And Mitchell, Mitch, I keep saying Mitchell. Mitch uses this and says that it implies more of a female form, which I can see that because it does kind of, you know, it makes like a more slender kind of shape. But I think this is also easily applicable for just like any kind of, like a scrawnier person, right? Not just like a lady or a female form. You know, this could also be just like a skinny dude. And what would help sell this a little bit more would be making the rib cage smaller. Because women typically have a smaller rib cage than men. And just doing that, making the rib cage smaller, and now the hips are by default bigger, it looks a lot more feminine. But also, the shape of women's hips are different. Women don't have exactly the same shaped hips as men. Their hips actually go, make sure, let's see, drawing female hips. Because there is an image I'm looking for here of like exactly how they are different. Let's see. I believe it's mainly that they... Yeah. It's mainly that they sit at a deeper angle. Oh yeah, it's going to be a little out of sync. There's going to be a little bit of delay. Do I have it set the normal delay? I should. I want it to go to lower latency though. It is on normal latency. Can I change it to low? Nah, it won't let me stream. It won't let me change the latency. Whoops. I meant to set it to low instead of normal, but I didn't even think about actually doing it. Whoops. Yeah, that's the other big difference is that this shape here would be a little bit different. They come out a little bit further down. And they would still be wider. And then this right here, the famous thigh gap is also wider. Men don't have a wide thigh gap typically. It doesn't look all that crazy right now, but we're not pushing the forms that much. Like, if you ever look at, like, similarly sized men and women, like, side by side, there's not a huge amount of anatomical difference. I wish I could show some, but YouTube would be like, oh my god, you showed mostly naked people on the internet. Yeah, I did. It's for educational purposes, not for gross purposes. I say gross like, you know, anything sexual is gross. It really isn't. It's basic human stuff. For some humans, not for all of them, as it turns out. That was something really interesting. Was I was like curious about it, so I did some research, and because, you know, whenever I'm curious about things, I try to actively like learn about them and not just assume I know everything about it. So I did a little bit of research, and I learned that apparently at like a DNA level, there is like reasons, there's like scientifically measurable reasons and trackable reasons for things like sexuality and all that good stuff, which is really interesting. It takes a lot of the argument away from people who are like, you can choose to be gay. No, you can't. Science has showed that no, you can't. And there's a and for like all the things that like these are the DNA level things that make you gay, there's also these are the DNA level things that make you straight. So guess what? You can't choose to be straight either. Obviously, that's more recent science. I think it took place in 2018 was whenever they did the study that I'm referring to. Let me find the video I watched. Let's see. Is this it? No. Oh, where was it? It's pretty easy to tell video. It wasn't by Seeker. Here it is. Yeah. This was the video I'd seen. This isn't recent. The one that I'm referencing is more recent because it used DNA from services like 21andMe and like all those different services. And not just by like Americans. It was around the world. It was a huge sample group. It was a pretty good sized sample group. And these scientists like broke down all of this stuff at a biological level. And it's very interesting. And there's a similar video for this one for transgender science as well. It's very interesting. I thought it was very cool. Anyways, back to drawing. Let's take these same shapes and put them in a 3/4 view, right? Just lost the game. I love the game. I'm okay with losing it. Don't hate the player, hate the game. My dad is a professional photo editor and is asking you, what are you trying to do in Photoshop? Well, this isn't Photoshop. First and foremost, this is Clip Studio Paint. Adobe Photoshop is overpriced, ancient, virtually useless software that only exists today because they have a pseudo monopoly on the market. And whereas, yes, I can admit that it is useful and convenient in a lot of ways, just for the fact that it does have like a homogeny to it, at the end of the day, it is not the greatest software in the world. And in hindsight, maybe it never really was. Draw a circle, Hansel. My God. There we go. That being said, there's still a ton of artists out there who prefer Photoshop and have been working in it in years. Working in it for years. They really have a monopoly anymore? That's why I said a pseudo monopoly. Like, the thing with Photoshop is that it is still like, what are you trying to do? I'm just drawing. I was trying to draw a circle, but I'm just drawing. But I finally got that circle that I wanted to draw. But like, it's kind of like how someone might not ask you if you need a tissue. They might ask you if you want a Kleenex, right? I forget what the term is, but that's essentially what's happening, is the sense that like there is a like a household name kind of household brand kind of thing of that goes with it. Like, you don't say you photo edited something, right? People say you Photoshop something. Used Photoshop for years too, but switching to Krita was fairly simple. Yeah, I've heard Krita's actually like got some really great features in it. I've been using Clip for years now, and I love it. Memetics? Memetics? No, I don't think it's memetics. That seems like something very different. Term for when a name brand replaces something's name. When you're using a brand as a generic term, you're using it as a proprietary eponym, or more simply, a generic trademark. You're probably more familiar with this phenomenon than you think. There's plenty of examples of it. Yeah. Like Xerox and Kleenex and Google and stuff like that. Because even when we say we're Googling something, we mean we're looking up something on the internet, but we say we're Googling it because 99% of the people on the planet use Google to do so. That looks way more like a dude. It's way more like a big dude. This is a big, burly, buff boy. Actually, hold on. Maybe I don't... Maybe this is like your average size guy, right? And then if you wanted to beef this guy out, you bring this sleeve down lower, this kind of deal. And now it's like, man, this guy's a unit. Actually works out, huh? Guys, proportions. I've learned how to work with them a little bit. It's fun, actually. All right, so that's the male equivalent. What if we did the same thing with a lady type? Using the same little diagram we got going on over here. First thing we got to do is we got to change those hips a little bit. Make it a little bit wider and dip them down a little bit lower. Might be a bit too wide, actually, there. Make it a little bit shorter. Oop. Ho ho ho. I'm not listening to that. I'm not accidentally listening to the Christmas music anymore. Chill out. Yeah. There we go. Voice gave out on me for a second there. Oh boy. All right. Let's learn some muscles. Where's my mouse? There it is. He says he hasn't memorized all the muscles of the body. Good. I'm not memorizing all the muscles of the body. Ain't no way, ain't no how. I ain't got the brain for that. Those heads look kind of funny. Did I spell heads when talking about how big I was gonna, what I was drawing? That would be hilariously embarrassing. Head study. Did you see a bunch of torsos? Hey Nick, how you doing, bud? Cam sent me a nice little chess tutorial, courtesy of the good old Etherington brothers. Oh, whoops. What? Stop hitting things. Dear God. Here, I'll copy a link to what he sent me. Oh God. Oh dear no. Yeah, if you guys don't follow the Etherington bros and you want like a bunch of just really good random art tutorials and like how to think about art in different ways, these guys are phenomenal. They're so good. Just trying to focus as usual. Trying to get your boards done. Let's see. So we got our basic egg shape here. We got our clavicles. We kind of do that shape. Let's see, where's the clavicle come out? Storyboarding the pilot, which is keeping me busy on top of work. Ugh, gross. I mean, good on the fact that you're doing it, but that's just so much work. Drawing symmetrically is hard. But I don't want to use this. And I know Clip has a symmetrical tool, but I don't want to use it for this. Gotta get better at drawing, so. We're doing everything the hard way, baby. No shortcuts. Comes out of like down here. Yeah, kind of a teardrop shape down here. Then this is that muscle in the back that I don't know the name of. The lats, maybe? I think these are lats. Luckily you didn't have to write. Yeah, dude, imagine writing. Didn't you do like didn't you do one of your comics where you're like writing or something like that? Where it was just like a giant intimidating word on the wall and you were staring at it or something like that? Somewhere on your Instagram. Alright, let's change colors to red. Since I'm going to be doing, like... This is, like, all the back stuff. But now we're doing, like, front-facing muscles. The pec connects here? That's where the pec connects to? Seriously? I guess it feels like it's higher up on the arm. But I guess once you get everything muscled up... Oh, because then that muscle goes over. Okay, that makes sense actually more. That actually makes more sense. Staring at the word story. Yeah, that's right. Which, yeah, that's writing. I love Smiles and Moxie. Two of your most endearing characters. Pec is glued to your clavicle. Connects back down there. Indicate that it does have like some shape to it. Because the wraps around that good old torso, wraps around your chest. Then we got to think about all the neck muscles, because neck muscles exist and they're annoying. Actually, real quickly, just draw in that simple cylinder for the neck, so I can put the muscles around it. Oh yeah, I kind of like this muscle right here. This one right here, the one that wraps around to like the back of the skull. The base of the back of the skull, whatever this muscle's called, I like that one. That kind of gives you like your really like intense neck shapes. Like neck things. Welcome back, Donut. Tell you what I need to do for a stream one day. I need to do a style study of like the multiverses style. Because I don't know if you guys have seen the character art for multiverses, but I love the character art for multiverses. Yeah, here's a good picture. Like this rendering style? Ugh! Look at that rendering style. It's so nice. It's so simple, but it's so nice. You can even see like part of the sketchy part of it, where like the outline sketches are. And then like the brushwork and some of the strokes. It's nice. Like that brushwork right there. That little bit of brush there. I love it. It's so good. But everything has like such hard angles too. Like anywhere where there's like a... Who's got... Yeah, like Soup up here, right? Like they give that hard angle right there to his neck and all that stuff. Right there where all of his like muscles intersect and everything. Oh, so good. They really push those proportions, like his rib cage and his hollow stomach. No, he has no abs. It's a hollow stomach there. It is a stretch of line of hollow skin that goes from his rib cage down to his hips. But I like that rendering style a lot. I think it looks really nice. It's so surreal seeing Arya Stark fight Steven Universe, make a Stephen Pie. Yeah, I should do a rendering study of that at some point. Yeah, no, but like just that style of rendering that they use across all the characters, it makes it all very homogenous in a really appealing way. And I do generally like that style. It gives me very oh god, what's that artist's name? I'm gonna go to Instagram. I don't know if I'm thinking of Brett Bean. I think I'm actually thinking of somebody else. No, Brett Bean is the... Yeah, that's not who I'm thinking of. Although Brett Bean's work is great. If you haven't seen Brett Bean, go check out his work. I think I've talked about him on streams before. But there's a rendering style I'm trying to think of. Let me just scroll down and see if I see him. Actually, you know who it's very similar to? It's very similar to Ben Eblin. This guy right here. He does a pretty similar rendering style as well. Oh, that's not the right one. Ben Eblin is also very similar in this way. I just really like that rendering style. It's very good. All right. So now we got that drawn in. All the neck muscles. Can I get these, like, these guys in here? Get those little dudes in there. Then what did you draw next? Next is the shoulders, actually. That go about here on the arm. And they go to the clavicle where this muscle is. Let's draw that in a different color. I actually should have drawn the shoulders a little bit. I actually drew it the right size on this one. Because it does wrap up and around the shoulder. I can see where some of the unevenness is coming in where I didn't draw everything like completely opposite. Oh well, that's where practice comes in. And he draws like some little grid lines to show the curvature of everything. There we go. That looks pretty good. The next step is actually the bicep itself, which connects about right there. And it's almost kind of cone shaped, really. And it disappears behind the bicep. But it would connect back up to the arm up there. I wish his image did show that connection a little bit, but it does not. Like drawing through it. But it's fine. You could pretty easily imagine it. There we go. There we go. And then next up is these guys. I didn't draw hips on this dude. Whoops. Let's draw some hips real quick. Hey, noob. What's up, bud? A little rude. We'll look over that. God, Cody, I really got to work on my penmanship. I gotta start getting these circles and stuff done in one go. Oh God, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stand up. I am tired of sitting down. Ugh. Call you noob then so you can be unrude? That's not how it works, man. Sin doesn't just disappear because you kind of got what you deserved. Can I bring it up a little bit higher? Oh no. Brought it up too high. Okay, there we go. I kind of wish my tablet sat up a little bit higher. Like I had a riser or something for it. Unfortunately, I don't. Maybe I'll get one someday. Alright, and these guys go here. Oh, I just realized I'm drawing everything too... Ooh, that's what I'm doing. I made everything too long. I always do that. That's like one of my oldest bad habits where I make everything too long. Something about me just wants to stretch everything out, you know? I don't know what it is. Now, looking at our reference. Yeah, that makes way more sense. Yeah, now that makes way more sense. Because this basically touches this. It's actually still too long. Actually, I think now my problem is the gap between the hips and the bottom of the ribs is too tall. There we go. Draw that little bit in. No idea what those are called. Like, he doesn't have that labeled. He just says adding side muscle, which, you know what? Fair. We'll call that a side muscle. I would say maybe this is like the obliques, maybe the abdominal obliques, something like that. And this finishes off the form, the abs, doing this number. And just go all the way down to just below the center of the pelvis. And they kind of change orientation a lot too. Like this one goes up. Then this is up a little bit, but not as much. And this is basically flat. The armpit, that's what's caused when you lift this up. When you lift these muscles up. Let me see if I can draw it since I got all this reference here, huh? Might as well try and imagine it. Just get a real quick form in here real quick. What are you, auxiliary nerve? Okay. If we try and like draw this, right? Our pecs. Let's draw our arm up first. So clavicle comes back. We actually go up because we're adjusting our arm up. And then this is our arm. Goes up like that. So this back muscle here, which is connected here. Go around here like that. Then our actual shoulder muscle is now facing up. Right, but it's behind the bone. It's not in front of it. But it is connected. Let's see. We connected it to our clavicle. That's right. So that gets connected right around here to the clavicle. And then our actual, this muscle, like our pecs, is connected to our arm. So they're going to go up. And then all this stuff is just flat, flabby skin, but we also have those muscles along our back that kind of go around here. You can kind of feel them on your back. It's that big chunk of muscle. If we were to imagine its shape, it's almost like this. This guy's trying hard to remember names. I'm not trying to remember names. I'm generally trying to figure out, remember where all these things go. And of course, these guys are down here. But like all of this stuff right here, all these different muscles and everything that kind of tie here, they're like this flab of skin here that is nothing. This like pit of skin here that's nothing. It's literally a pit of no muscle. That's just where the armpit goes. This is the no muscle zone. If you were to able to put your finger all the way in there, you'd be touching cartilage and joint. That's what you'd be hitting. You'd be hitting all this junk right in there. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting a headache. I'm gonna order pizza. I think I'll wrap up this part of the stream whenever the pizza gets here. What is on coupons for my pizza? What you got on coupons, Domino's? I don't want a large pizza. I want a medium. One medium, 3 topping for $11. Okay, that's okay. And let's see what toppings we're using. Let's do crunchy thin crust because it's got a lot less carbs. You know the difference between like a thin crust pizza and like a thick pizza when it comes to like carbs and calories is like 3 to 4, like almost 150, 200 per slice. It's insane. Let's see. Let's go with the garlic parmesan sauce. Let's go with the chicken. Then we're going to do onions. And buffalo sauce. Yeah, we'll make our own kind of like, but thin crust sucks? Yeah, it does. But I'm trying to like, look, you guys probably can't tell, but I've lost 9 pounds. I've lost 9 pounds in like the last 3 weeks by like sticking to meal prep and cutting out all the really bad food. So by making this pizza be like the only thing I eat for the rest of the day and like really cutting that down, it's like 1 day of really bad calories and that's it. I'm done. No more bad calorie day for the rest of the week. This is my cheat day, okay? But I want to make my cheat day as unbad as possible. I want to fall backwards as little as possible. Alright, add a coupon. No on the extra cheese. Yeah, I know. I've been really proud of myself. I've been feeling pretty good about my weight loss. So that's been nice. It hasn't reflected, and I don't look like this guy yet, the guy I drew here. I don't look like him yet. You know, we'll get there. Wait, no. I don't want to add ranch. I don't like ranch. Get away. Remove the ranch from order. So yeah, a quarter of this pizza, so like 1/4 of it's 390 calories. If I were to do this same order with a thicker slice of pizza, with like a thicker thing of pizza, a quarter of the pizza would be like 500, almost 600 calories per slice. It's insane. Or per quarter. It's insane how much different it is. I mean, it is a pretty good amount for a few weeks. You know, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not trying to undercut my progress by no means. Alright. Send my order to the store. Give me pizza, give me more. Don't give me more. Oh yeah, Pizza Hut's doing that stupid order the pizza with the power of your mind thing. Ugh. What the fuck is pounds? Pounds is some dumb shit that Americans invented to confuse everybody. Unfortunately. It's the American imperial system and it sucks butts. It's very stupid. Very stupid, very dumb. Alright. Let's take these muscles and build them onto one of our dudes, shall we? By looking at a reference here? This looks like a good idea. It's like this big beefy guy right here. Let's put our muscles on this big beefy guy here. Keep on keeping on for me. Keep on suffering in the world that we suffer in, for sure, for real. Yeah, I know, dude. The fact that we don't use a metric system is the worst crime America's ever committed. Don't at me. Name one worst crime America has committed. I'll wait. Don't actually. That would be really depressing. Let's not talk about American atrocities, huh? Let's talk about fictional American atrocities from the game, Driver's Gotta Get That S rank. That would be really funny. God, if I get the same pizza guy that I've gotten before, he says the same thing every single time. He's a nice man. He's an older gentleman. He's very nice. I wish him the best. But he says the same thing every time he delivers my pizza. And it's so goofy. He says, God, what's he say? Oh yeah, he'll say like, how you doing? I'm like, oh, how are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm doing fine. How about you? You know, being, polite. And he says, I'm doing finer than... He's like, I'm finer than Frog's hair. Hold on. I'm finer than Frog's hair. What is the full saying? He says something like, I'm finer than Frog's hair on a something something. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, bud. It's a little weird, but okay. Again, no hate. I just think it's a weird little character quirk he has where he says it every single time. It's like his catchphrase to me. Actually, just kidding. I hate that man. Stop delivering my pizza. Send me somebody cool who doesn't say weird frog hairs idioms. I can't hear about frogs right now, okay? I'm still recovering from the end of Amphibia and the fact that there's going to be no more episodes forever. I'm still recovering from that fact. I want more of my silly frog shows, all I'm saying. Owl House season finale, how dare they leave it like that? The Owl House season finale was pretty rough. Like, it's like, man, what is gonna happen next? I mean, I can imagine what's going to happen next. They're going to find their way back. Things are going to be in a problem, and they're going to have to make friends or convince the collector to stop being so crazy, wacky, wild, goofy, whatever. But there's all that other stuff where you're like, what's going to go on with that little bit of goop? Huh? What's that goop going to do? I saw that little bit of goop. What's that goop going to do? Hopefully nothing traumatizing and horrible to my sweet little boy. My sweet little boy Hunter. Don't hurt him. I got Owl House Season 2 spoiler. You don't know what the goop means. You have no idea what I mean by the goop. That's so vague. Just calling it the goop isn't spoiling anything. You should probably hop on that Season 2, though, before it does really get spoiled for you. Before somebody goes all out and really ruins it. What was the black goo? Oh, well, let me explain it to you in extremely deep, extremely good detail. No, you should hop on finishing that season, my guy. It's pretty good. It's a pretty fun finale. I might rewatch the finale while I'm eating my pizza. The black goo from Prometheus is in the house. Collector beloved. Chaos child. Truly chaotic being. I got a spoiler from another person, the two blushy girls kiss. I mean, is that really a spoiler? It was bound to happen eventually. I guess the fact that they did actually do it is a bit of a spoiler. Sephiroth jumps in and stabs Annie in Season 3! Kingdom Hearts 4! Oh my god. That's really funny. Holy crap. Okay, that works out. The pecs are a little funny here. Let me see if I can fix the pecs. It's probably because of the way I put the clavicle in. Like, the pecs honestly probably shouldn't be going out this far. All this stuff should probably be a little bit further in. So if we move everything in a little bit. I'm Rob Liefelding a little bit here. Let's bring this whole thing in a little bit. Yeah, that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better, actually. Yeah. Say, fellas, did somebody mention the door to darkness? God, so messed up. Alright, pizza's actually going to be here in like 10 minutes. So in that case, I think I'm going to call these studies right here done. Like, what did we do today? Today we did all of this, which I feel like this really helped out. Like this muscle structure layout thing, this is a really nice thing that I kind of have some practice with now. And I'm going to keep practicing it over the week. But we did all of that. Did all of that. We did all of this. Oh yeah, Donut, you missed this guy. Yeah, Donut, you missed this crazy guy. And then I did a gesture of him because I thought it was fun. And that gesture actually came out really nice. Like, I'm really happy of how this gesture came out. Like, this is really, really cool. I'm very proud of that. It's not perfect by any means, but I feel like you still got a lot of the twist and the form in. And then, yeah, getting that muscular set up right here on this guy, like, this feels like a lot of learning. Today I didn't call you by food adjectives. Gabriel, I'm going to be honest, I kind of missed it. I did kind of miss your little introduction. I kind of missed you coming in here and doing what you do, because that's always really funny to me. Oh, you guys want to see something? I turned on time-lapse for this. Hold on, can I export the time-lapse? How do I do that? Edit, file, time-lapse. Export time-lapse. Okay, how's this gonna work? Length, 30 seconds, 1280p. Show clip logo, sure. Okay. Now where's this time-lapse gonna go? Exporting time-lapse. Exporting it where? Tell me. Tell Cody where it's going. The next one I'll do it? Okay. You can't do it as the outro on this one? Unfortunate. Oh, my computer's really screaming right now. It's like, girl, you're making me work! Oh, okay. We'll just save it to the desktop. Torso _ Say 001. This is my first time using the time-lapse thing on Clip. Oh god, I forgot I accidentally opened Hit Film. Play the video, VLC. Thank you. Which window are you even going to open up in? There it is. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun to watch. I forgot about the roller coaster man. Oh, I forgot about the Rob Liefeld. I forgot we made fun of Rob Liefeld for a minute. Man, I love watching time lapses. It's fun watching them come together like this. That's so cool. That's so neat. Alright. Well, pizza's gonna be here in a few minutes. And I'm not gonna eat on stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. I want to start doing these kind of study streams every week. I'm still gonna do studies normally, like before streams and stuff. Oh, and I did this the other day, and a few people got to see it. But for like really short streams, like before I go to work or something, I'm just gonna stream straight to the Discord, and we can just, you know, sit in the Discord and chit chat and stuff while I do that. So you can like click on it to view it and watch it and everything. I'll probably make it to where you can't talk while I'm doing that. You can still be in chat and everything, but as far as like while I'm actually drawing, that, you know, while I'm drawing, we won't be communicating like vocally. Just because if a bunch of people come in there, it's gonna become a whole mess, and I don't want to bother with that. So I will be doing that in the Discord still, because I did enjoy the one time I did it. And I guess I'll show the other thing I'm doing for practice. Thank you, Donut. I was just about to do that. The other thing that I've been working on for practice, because this is for like helping me get better at character designs and stuff, obviously. But I've also been working on a rendering thing. Let's see. You're gonna show me the clip file? No, you're not. Okay, well, bring me to the file location of this, please. Take your time. Oh, wait, it's right here. Okay. I've also been working on this, which I didn't draw this, at least not the pose and everything. This started off as this from an episode of Drawfee, and then I decided to render it, or start working on rendering it. So I got the flats in already, but right now I'm working on getting just rendering it, you know? So this is the rough layout, the rough like pass of it. I'm going to start cleaning it up some more. And I kind of want to do multiple different lighting scenarios. Like this one, the idea is the light source is coming from the skull. I'm probably going to do one of like your classic backlight scenario where like maybe this wall is the light or whatever. And then maybe I'll do something like really intense, like like a light coming from the front type deal, like the light coming from like right here. So like all this will be lit up like right here, but then all this will be in shadow. Like I think that could be really cool. That could be really fun. But yeah, that's something else I've been working on. Keep working on that kind of stuff just because it's fun. It's a good practice. But yeah, I think that'll be it. We'll call that the stream. Guys, thanks for coming by. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna keep doing this kind of stuff. I'm gonna take these things that I worked on and I'm gonna put them in the Cody sketchbook channel on Discord. I'm also gonna put them on my Instagram and my Twitter. So if you don't follow me on my socials, whoops, follow me on my socials, stalk me there. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Appreciate you coming by. I feel like I actually learned a lot. And yeah, be sure to check out Mitch and his stuff, because I do feel like his stuff is being very, very helpful here. I guess I'll practice. I guess I'll draw the boobies off stream, because I don't want YouTube to hit me with the no boobies. So I guess I'll practice the boobies off stream. Oh well. Oh well. YouTube out here saying no. Even though YouTube has all this like, here's I'm gonna go on a little mini rant real quick. there's so many things where, like, I get it, right? You don't want to show, like, explicit nudity and stuff to kids on your public facing thing, right? But you also have things for arts and education on here. And there are YouTube videos that are labeled as educational YouTube videos that show, like, fully naked people, and it's a very sterile experience. It's a very sterile experience of them being like, this is the breast, and this is the point of the breast from, like, a scientific and, like, biological perspective. I don't see how that doesn't translate the same way to art and illustration, where it's like, oh, you're doing portrait and anatomy studies. Okay, here's how you, like, here's how boobs work, and here's how the nipple kind of moves around the boob depending on the size of it, you know? Like, I don't see how that doesn't translate over, because it's the same thing. It's very sterile. For the most part, you're going to be staring at somebody in a pose for like 30 minutes to an hour. It's not really the most stimulating thing, in my opinion. But I guess if I was to, like, put the opposite side of the coin, I have been in life drawing classes where I was sitting right next to somebody and they were being very creepy towards the model in a way that's not very professional. Whenever the entire idea is you're supposed to be using, this person is helping you learn, right? They're letting you use their body as a way to educate and grow your knowledge on how, like, the human form works. And you're sitting here being like, oh, I think they're pretty, and saying much worse things than that. And that's very unprofessional. And I can see where that argument comes in. But if you're going to have the one, those comments are going to be on that same type of biological exploration of the body as it would be in the exact same, as it would be in the same thing of, like, a art study video. So, you know, it does feel kind of like a weird double standard. But maybe people using YouTube to learn art is a lower side of the spectrum than people using YouTube to learn about sex. I don't know. I don't have the stats on that. Seems very unlikely at the end of the day, but, you know, maybe. Do you expect me to do Stick Girls every yard I do? Yeah, actually. You guys ever watch Stick Figures? Or sorry, Dick Figures, the show Dick Figures? It's very funny. But, literally, the characters are like, this is how you draw red. That's red. And he has a girlfriend named Pink. And this is what she looks like. That's how you draw Pink. Like, that's literally that show. It's very funny. It's like classic. In my mind, it's classic YouTube. But yeah, do they expect us to draw like that all the time? I don't know. I don't think so. But it is a weird chunk of my brain that question and that conversation kind of takes up. Anyway, say goodbye to Mr. S. Mr. S, say goodbye to everybody. You weird bendy man. Yo, Creativity 100. It's a very funny show. I recommend you watch it. It's very, very funny. I think it had like 4 or 5 seasons and a movie. It's very good. Anyways, I gotta go. Pizza's gonna be here any minute. Bye, stream.